Hey everybody, what's up? Today we're going to work on snare rolls and making the perfect snare roll. Getting one that's got a great velocity, it's gradually changing, it's moving, and it feels like someone's actually playing live, okay? We don't want it to sound like a robot, which is just increasing in volume or just increasing with a filter like some people do. What we actually want to do is make it feel realistic. This is a house track, we want it to have character, right? So what we're going to do is get a nice 909 snare or whatever one you want to use for your project. It has great decay, lovely sounding 909, and then you're just going to simply draw out a sequence of 909s, okay? So just a standard roll. So it's just going to simply sound like this. Okay, that's nothing special. You're probably thinking that's rubbish. But what we're going to do then is we're going to use the velocity control, not the volume, and we're not going to use a filter or anything like that. We're going to draw out the velocity shape, okay? So now it's just going to sound like this. So that's still, it sounds okay. You know, you could use it, but it still sounds robotic because all of the notes are hitting the exact same and it's exact same increase. There's nothing human about it. That's what we're trying to create, is this human element, right? So how we do that is we can just control all of them, and then we can just go to tools and randomize. And then as you notice here, instantly it's given a nice random feel. Okay, you could just leave it straight like that. You can edit it to make it huge, okay, which would sound stupid. Okay, you might have some uses for that, but it just sounds like the drummer's had a few too many. So what we want to do is actually make it sound like he's a good drummer, but realistic, as if he's hitting the skin, slightly different every time. Because when you are playing the drums, I'm a drummer myself, and when I hit the snare drum, I don't hit it the same every time, okay? So you want to create that realistic element as if someone's actually playing it live. So we'll just have a slight differentiation in the velocities here, and then we'll take another listen. Okay, that sounds great. That sounds very realistic. And that's basically all you have to do. You don't have to overcomplicate this, but also you don't want to just be lazy and just automate the volume control or something like that, because you are going to get a lazy sounding snare roll. Simple as that. This doesn't take more than a minute. If you know what you're doing, a minute at that. So what we're going to do here is just, I've popped it into a little house track I've been messing around with. Take a listen at how it sounds in the build-up and how much more realistic it sounds, and then you can really appreciate what that little trick does. All right, so I'll just play this for you. Alright guys, it's as simple as that. So just to recap, basically use the velocity control making a snare roll. Have a decent snare with good decay to really fill up the body of that build-up, and randomize the velocity. Don't just make a slope, actually alter them. You know, if you really wanted to, if you didn't have the ability to do it like this in your DAW, you could just simply click and just move them around yourself, okay? There is always a way to do it, and it will sound so much more realistic. Or even when you play on the keyboard and you use your fingers whilst you're tapping out the snare roll when you record it, that will naturally give an alternating velocity because you're not going to hit it the same every single time. All right, as long as your keyboard's got velocity sensitivity, which it should have. Okay, guys, so it's as simple as that. Get practicing. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.